Hello, Hornets, and welcome to the next Royal Chapter. I'm your host, Brooke Mawson. Today, we are going to dive deep into the personal lives of Delaware State's very own Mr. and Mrs. Sophomore as they wrap up their royal reign for the 2023-2024 academic school year. How are you guys doing?
Hey.
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very special episode because not only are you guys Mr. and Mrs. Sophomore, you guys are my friends.
Yeah.
But that's
And I just want everybody to know how it's like being in the royal realm and to dive deep into your personal lives. Okay, so for our viewers, could you please tell them who you are and where you're from and all that jazz? We'll start off with Darius.
All right, my name is Darius, Elliot. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Ranyah Bullock. I'm a mass communications major from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's get on to the first question at hand, which is your campaign season. So now that you guys are coming up at the end of the reign, what was the initial reason on why you wanted to run for Mr. and Mrs. Sophomore?
So I'll start first. So I wanted to run for Miss Sophomore because I wanted to find a way to impact the campus, right? When I first came in, I'm like, I want to focus on acclimating to the campus. I want to start my hair business. You know, I wanted to build something for me that, you know, I was able to manage and everything while I'm getting acclimated. And so once I was successful in, you know, coming onto campus and building that business, okay, I said, what's the next steps? So I started looking into student leadership. I had friends who were in student leadership, and I loved the work that they were doing. And I saw areas where I could, you know, fit in that realm and work to improve the campus body, right? So I'm like, let's go for Miss Sophomore. I attended the coronation of my freshman year, and I fell in love. Wow. I loved everything about it. I loved the HBCU culture, the Black culture, and I'm like, I want to be a part of something. And even with Miss Sophomore, it's about representation, it's about community service, it's about impacting the campus. And those are the next steps I really wanted to take in my college career to elevate to the next level, all around when it comes to impacting the community and elevating myself as a college student.
I love that.
Yeah.
How about you?
For me, originally, during campaign season, I didn't run for Mr. Sophomore. I ran for sophomore class president. But originally I had a plan coming to DSU. I was gonna start off my freshman year with the God Brothers and get my foot in the door, get people to understand who I am and get the people to know who I am. And then I wanted to run for Mr. Sophomore, but then I changed my mind. Was like, because of my major, I'm a poli-sci major, so I'm like, president might be something for me. I ended up not winning my ring. I ended up actually running against someone and not winning. And the position for Mr. Sophomore was open, so I'm like, I'm gonna take it. Probably one of the best things that ever happened to me because it showed the representation and the embodiment that I can bring out to people and show what type of leader I am. So I would say it was a great humbling experience being a part of the Royal Court and being Mr. Sophomore, being a representation for my class, being a leader and showing people that it don't matter where you come from. It don't matter what hood you come from. It don't matter if you went through a lot in your life. If you can overcome that, then you overcome anything.
I love you guys' answers.
Yeah, that was good.
They're very wholesome. And me too, coming into DSU, I wanted to make a difference, put my mark on it, especially when you leave. Like, you want to be remembered. So I love your guys' answers. Those are really, really good.
Thank you.
In order to get into the public serving position, you need a lot of support behind you. Could you elaborate on what support looks like when running for these positions?
I'll say for me, having a great campaign team, making sure they got everything equipped for you, making sure your communication is on key, making sure that you have a civilized campaign team that's able to communicate with you about what's going on, what they can see that you can improve in, be transparent, because if you're not transparent with each other, there's no reason for them to be with you on your campaign team because you have to be able to work together. You got to see what fits for you. You got to have events. You got to be able to talk to the people. You got to get them to know who you are. So you got to have people on your team that's able to bring out the real you instead of the fake you.
I love that answer.
That was really good. You eating me.
That was a good one.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. Like, in this student leadership world, you are not your position, you are not your Miss Sophomore, your SJ president without your support of the people. You need people who are going to be real with you, who are going to help you, who are going to be genuine and really want to see you succeed at the end of the day. Because we come across a lot of campaign teams. We all hear it, oh, it's been messy, you know, this person talked about me, but they supposed to be on my team. It's a lot of mess that can come with it. But if you can find those genuine people who want to see you succeed, who is on your team, who really just want to elevate to the next level wholeheartedly, that's how you really impact and make a change with people. I can go back to my campaign team that I had. Everybody played a role, right? And everybody wanted to see the end in mind. It wasn't just about me. It wasn't just about Ranyah. It was about how can we all elevate to the next level, right? So the person who was making my shirts and pressing the shirts out, he wanted to start a shirt business. So it came right in line, like, oh, I need somebody to help me with my shirts. You want to get into the shirt business, we're aligned, right? When I first met Colin, he wasn't having a lot of clients on campus, right? We end up, meeting each other. We lived across the hall from each other, and I was like, hey, I really, want to work with you. And he did my video. And then now he's like, he has clients. He's in charge of DESU-TV, which he already had that potential, but our dreams aligned with each other. And that was a part of my campaign team. So it was really big for me to not only uplift myself, but everybody who had a contribution, they were being uplifted at the same time.
Wow. I can really resonate with that, especially because, I saw you campaigning and I was on your campaign team. And obviously, like, we're all here to support each other. But the fact that you're pouring into us and we're pouring into you is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Got to.
What was the theme of your campaign for the both of you, for the platform, and how do you think your initiatives could impact the student body?
For me, mine was stand on something. I'm very big on quotes and things like that. And I even had a tattoo called by Malcolm X, a man fought for anything, he'll fall for anything. If a man stands for nothing, he will fall for anything.
Same for the people in the back.
So the biggest thing for that is it really means something for me to stand for someone and be a role model for other people. So if I'm standing in these positions and being a role model for others, it bring in other people and wanting to be in these positions. They be able to so on and help others and continue the legacy. Like, I didn't have family that went to college and did student leadership or got involved in their community. So with me standing on something, meaning I'm here, I did this, and I'm gonna continue to do it.
I love that.
My campaign platform was based off Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, right? Becoming. Who are you becoming? What are you becoming? Why do you want to become that, right? I wanted to, number one, of course, become Miss Sophomore, but I wanted to influence others to become a better version of themselves, right? How can you step out of your comfort zone? Because, running for Miss Sophomore was so uncomfortable for me. Like, I had videos of me like, girl, you just got to do it. Even though I want to be like, no, that ain't for me. I was like, I just have to do it, right? Yeah,
you stepped out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, like, I really want to encourage people to step out there. Just learn new things, get out there. And one of the things that I did, a part of my campaign, was my braiding with a twist event, right?
I remember that.
I come from a braiding hair family. My mama been a hairstylist all my life. That's all we know. That's all we do. Sorry. That's all we know. That's all we do. So I'm like, why can't I bring that to the campus? So I was like, let me teach girls on campus how to braid. Like, let's do it. And we had an event, and it went well. We had a good turnout. People loved it. And you would think, oh, we go to a HBCU, everybody know how to braid. No, ma'am. That's not true, right? So being able to bring something that's ironic to the campus, something new, something nobody has done before, you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Let me learn how to braid, right? That's the step to your beauty. Like, when you look good, you feel good. So if I learn how to braid my hair, I ain't got to depend on nobody else, and I can step out here looking good. You know what I'm saying? So just little things like that to help people push and become better versions of themselves. That's what I wanted to really campaign on.
I love that. First of all, I applaud the both of you guys for taking, the initiative to do something like that, stepping outside of your comfort zone. Coming in here, you say you do want to make a difference. So the fact that you listen to your inner thoughts and saying like, this is something I actually want to do, and then actually helping people in the campus, watching you, your event, your quote, it's motivating to people. So let's move into announcement. This is, a really, really big deal.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the night that you heard your name called, winning the desired position. What were the emotions that you were feeling when your name was called?
When I got caught that night, I knew my name was going to get called that
Really?
night. Right? Yes, because I was uncontested.
Okay. We love an uncontested.
For real. I mean, it got its ups and downs, but, I knew my name was going to get called. I was uncontested, didn't run against anybody. So I was definitely excited, but it was something I had kind of already came to terms with. I think it was just a public announcement of, okay, this is the position you're stepping into. It was still very nerve-wracking. You're stepping into a realm you don't know nothing about, but you aspire to be in. So that dichotomy right there is something to really grasp with, because it's like, yes, I'm excited, but I don't know what to expect. And you continue to go through those same things in any version that you are at in life. When you go to college, you're excited, but you don't know what to expect. When you start a career, you're excited, but you don't know what to expect. So it was just that feeling all over again within the campus when they called my name.
Wow. Okay. So how about you?
For me, because I lost, it was like, but I had already knew like earlier that day, it was like, if you don't win, you can have that Miss Sophomore position. So I was pretty excited about that. But it was just like, it was a waiting period till they actually say, hey, that's your position. You get what I'm saying? But other than that, I was pretty excited. Couldn't wait to get with the people and see what I could do on this campus and make an impact. So that's my piece.
I love that for the both of you, especially for you because, again, like you said, you were uncontested, and it's like, you're in the waiting realm, and you said that yourself. But since that's the end of announcement, let's get into coronation. My favorite part, honestly.
The best part.
So it was just announced that you are both the newly elected Mr. and Mrs. Sophomore. And after summer break is up, you guys jump right into work for the coronation. Can you explain what coronation is and what it means to HBCU culture?
So the coronation is basically an induction ceremony for the royal court of your HBCU, your university, right? It's to publicly announce to the university that you represent them, right? And it's a show, there's dancers, there's speeches, there's walking, there's waving, there's crownings going on. It's really just a celebration of these are my representations, right? So I think that right there, what it means to the HBCU culture, it's a major part, right? Our royal court across all HBCUs is something that's being represented. We're being talked about. It's being something we use to elevate our HBCUs to the next level, especially when we're going into realms of corporate America and traveling the world and different things like that. So I think representation and the idea of a coronation is something that's just culturally ingrained in us as HBCU students.
Okay.
But I love coronation, so I love it.
I love coronation too, especially because, coming from high school, you only know really SGA. You don't know unless your school has Spirit Week, the administration is over that, but nobody really knows real court until you come into a HBCU.
Yeah.
So it's a different ball game.
Definitely a different ball game. I love every moment of it. Coronation was pretty fun. It was a nerve-wracking day, but it was fun.
Okay, so since you just got into that, here's my next question. Since coronation is the first public appearance as the official Mr. and Mrs. Sophomore, I want to know how you both felt in that moment.
I felt amazing. It was an experience in itself. Just seeing all the people just clap for you as soon as you come out, and just having to be able to smile the whole time and just enjoy yourself. I feel like one of my favorite parts was the dance, because it took me forever to learn that trick, But it was just the excitement. You could just hear in the middle of doing the dance, you could just hear the excitement of people just seeing you out there and seeing, these going to be the new faces of our sophomore class. It was just a great day in itself, and I was just proud to be a part of it.
Wow.
it's an experience. That was the motivator of why I even wanted to run for the position in the first place. So to be a source of inspiration in that moment for the next Mr. and Miss Sophomore, that right there is big, right? And even what it means to your family. Like, my family flew out and helped me with my campaign. They were gonna fly out for coordination, but they end up not being able to come out. So, but being able to know that I had their support there, and they see my younger siblings see their older sister really make moves and really do something like far away from home. Like, I made it happen. That was very big. And then, like I said earlier, just being able to be a part of something so impactful to people who come before us or after us, whatever the phrase is, is important.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
Yeah.
And just watching you guys, from the photos and the videos, the lives and all that, that's such a big deal.
Yeah, it was great.
It is
definitely great.
Gorgeous outfits.
Lots of practice.
We
spent hours beforehand, how many hours a week? We spent a lot of hours a week practicing. We had to learn dances, get out of our comfort zone. Listen, they chew him out, okay? We had to really do some things to really make that happen. But, I wouldn't trade it for anything. You learn a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, so even in that experience, you feel as though that it teaches you a lot, and it teaches that it's okay to get out your comfort zone. It's okay to be someone that you put so much effort in trying to not to be. You get what I'm saying? And it pulls a lot of companionship out of you, pushing yourself to the next level. And I feel like I pushed myself on a whole different level being a part of Ranyah.
Yeah, you feel like a new version of yourself.
Definitely.
So for events, because you guys attend and have your own events a lot. So Ranyah, I know that you started the year running with your Girl What's Tea event in the beginning of the year. What was your thought process behind that event, and how do you think it impacted the students so early on in the year?
So Girl What's Tea was a collaboration with Miss Sophomore and Miss Freshman, right? So that was my very first event, our very first collaboration. And me and Miss Freshman, Miss Deanna Fuchs Bimbo, or Bimbo Fuchs, which one is it? Whatever one it is, Miss Deanna, she is when it comes to the mindset of what we want to see in events, we connect, right? We want to give experiences to students, very big on experiences. So yes, we want to have decorations. Yes, we want to have mocktail bars. Yes, we want to have a photo booth area. Yes, we want to have conversation and activities. And yes, we want to be painting. We have the same connections when it comes to giving people an experience all the way around, because you can host an event all you want, but when you really put heart, when you really put effort, when you really put money into it, it changes the game. And we had a good turnout. We had conversations with women on campus about men and relationships and just our experience on campus as a whole. We painted pumpkins. It was just an all-around girl time event to really bond, to really network, to getting know each other, all while having fun and experiencing something great.
So I love that you had that event, especially because, the incoming freshmen coming in, they don't know anything about DSU. So the fact that you and who was it? Miss Freshman took the time to make that event and really get all the girls on campus, to get acclimated with each other and really feel how DSU is, and have that, moment to talk to other women on campus. Because no tea, no shade, some girls, they don't want to have those interactions. So the fact that you're bringing everybody together, regardless of where they're from, what they look like, their personality, it's a safe space to talk about stuff. So I love that event. I saw it, okay, girl. Okay, so Darius, I know that you also had your own event as well, which was Downtown Campus Cleanup. What was your thought process behind that event, and how do you think the event motivated students to become more active within the campus community?
So me, I'm really big on community service. I love doing community service. I love being in the community, showing my help and seeing what I can do and better off the community with either cleaning up or giving back or planting flowers, things and that such. So I seen that we have a student body, we have a lack of communication downtown. We have a lack of engagement down there. So one of my big things of my initiative was trying to bring more activities and community service down that way to better show that students can actually be down there and have a good time, and also feel as though it's like main campus. There's another side of it. So with doing a community cleanup, I had about 49 people show up.
Wow.
And we bonded, we talked, we went around the whole downtown, cleaned it up, took some pictures, and we all ended up just going to the cafe after and got some food, and it was just like a great bonding experience. And I felt like my point of view of trying to get that to happen was really like pursued in a good way, and I felt really good about myself, because honestly that morning I get there like 7 a.m. with the bags, gloves, and everything like that. I'm like, I hope a lot of people show up. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people showed up and was actually like engaged and wanting to do it and wanted to speak to me and get to know me. So I feel as though it was something that I brought from home to DSU.
Right. I love that you trying to get downtown, because a lot of people forget about downtown, like
Yeah,
you said
definitely.
prior to, and even the Commons as well. But knowing that the university bought Wesley and now we took it as our own, for them to be missing out on the main campus experiences and then you bring it towards them, it shows that you care and you're paying attention and they feel valued. So I love that you did that event. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was very awesome.
So you guys both do an amazing job at unifying students separately. However, coming together is unmatched. I'm aware that the both of you guys had a joint event, which was Beauty and Barbershop Talk. Can you guys talk about the concept behind the event and what was the outcome of it?
Okay, so Beauty Shop Barbershop Talk was a collaboration between me and Mr. Sophomore. Funny enough, I do hair on campus, and he cuts,
I cut hair.
he cuts hair. So why don't we create a beauty shop barbershop talk, right? Where we get people we get some stylists on campus who can do hair at the event. We get some barbers on campus who can do hair at the event, and bring males and females together and have conversations about our relationships, our futures, our neighborhoods, where we come from, while all emulating like a place that we always go to for these conversations, right? We grew up in hair salons, we grew up in the barbershops. They play very vital roles in the Black community. So we wanted to bring that same energy here at Delaware State University. And again, when we talk about creating an experience, we're doing giveaways, we're playing games, we got name tags, we're bonding people together. We're playing specific videos and asking certain questions to really engage the student body and have those conversations. So I think that event is just a staple of our dedication to bringing new concepts in, to engaging the student body, all while bringing a piece of who we are, where we come from here at the university.
Wow.
Yeah, it was definitely a great experience. I really had fun like doing that event, like speaking out, and I was cutting hair at the event also. And like we was playing little games, and people was very engaged about it, and like giving out the prizes. I had connected with a program I work with over the summer called Network Connect, and they do mental health kits. So giving out those mental health kits to help people better off with their mental, and see where they can help them. They had like notebooks, stress balls, things like that in there, and just see that it brought a smile on other people's face to have those conversations, be able to be open. With their own peers was a great experience, because our generation don't feel as though that they can be open with each other. So once they start feeling that they can be open, it might open up our generation into a different path than what we're going on now.
Wow. I love that you guys did that event. And I remember me and you, we did a DSU Cribs pop-up to help promote that event. But seeing the outcome and how all the students got together, both male and female, and having those conversations, it just kind of unified the campus as a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
So props to y'all.
Appreciate
Y'all
it.
did y'all
Appreciate
big
it. Appreciate
one.
it.
Like, I could cry at that event. Like, I
Really?
love that event, because what it means, like, it brings people together. We
Yes.
have those conversations, especially men and women. We so divided
Yes.
sometimes. So, like, let's come together, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's move forward into
Yes.
your personal lives. Now, I know that's a little touchy. However, you are students at the end of the day. Just because you guys wear a crown or a tiara and you have a sash, you are public figures. Students want to know, your personal lives, and that you also experience the same things that we do. So these roles come with a lot of pressure. Can you guys talk about your mental health struggles and how you dealt with that within your sophomore year?
For me, it was a struggle. Just trying to balance everything at once. I mean, I'm a poli-sci major, so I write a lot of papers. I do a lot of political stuff. Also trying to work with some politicians that's around to try to intern with them and see what I can learn from them to be able to better off myself. So it's like, how can I push myself to get to my full potential and also be Mr. Sophomore, also be on the board of God Brothers, also be a student, also be a friend. So just trying to balance all that at one time. But at the end of the day, I end up doing it. And at the end of the day, I just tell myself, there's nothing you cannot do.
Love that.
Yeah, mental health is a very big topic.
It is.
Right? Because like he said earlier, you're dealing with a public-facing position, right? You're dealing with regular classes, you're dealing with family, so you put a lot of pressure on yourself to be great, to excel, to be excellent, to show up, to be somebody people can rely on, and that can really play a toll on your mental health if you do not know how to balance that, right? So me personally, I dealt with a lot of pressure, right? Constant stress, constant anxiety, constant, I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing what I said I'm going to do. I'm not showing up for the people who I said I was going to show up for. But you're trying, but it's not working out. And then you get lazy, and then you get excited, but then you want to go outside. It's like all of these things is playing in your head, and it's like learning how to balance it all. So I definitely do believe that, adding this on top of, being a regular student can put a lot of pressure on you as far as, your mental health. So it's very important that you do what's necessary to calm those waters.
Right.
Because I had to really reel back into myself and really figure out what can I do to calm myself down, to really just be there and just have those waters chill out and calm your own head. Because it don't even have to be other people saying things to you. You can self-deprecate yourself.
Yeah.
You can talk yourself down.
Right.
And that can be just as bad as other people talking about you. So really addressing those problems, really sitting with myself and really having those conversations with who I need to talk to, be like, how can I, again, calm those waters for me?
I just commend y'all for, being vulnerable, especially because, like I said earlier in your answers alone, that you are students at the end of the day, you are people at the end of the day, and, to see whether you're vocal about it or not, going through whatever you're going through in your personal life and then coming to show up to an event with a smile on your face, like nobody really knows that. So I really appreciate you guys for shining light on that. So Darius, we all know the stigma for males and how they cannot show emotions. What is some advice you could give to males about the importance for asking for emotional help as well as addressing their mental health?
I would say one of my biggest things that I try to get forced to everybody is put your pride aside. Because that's even a struggle for me as a man. Like, putting your pride aside is one of the biggest things that you have to do as a man in order to evaluate what's actually going on with you. If you can't do that, then you're not going to never acknowledge what's actually going on with you and get the help that you need. So as a man, I'll say for you guys, like, literally just put your pride aside and go with the flow. And if you need help, say it. Like, it's okay to be a man and say you need help. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not belittling you. It's not making you less of a man. It's actually making you into a better man, that you actually asking for help and willing to take the help.
And I hope that the viewers that are watching it that are actually males take that into consideration, because having someone say it who is a female, like, they're like, oh, hearsay.
She don't know.
The fact that a man is saying that is even better.
Yeah.
So Ranyah, as college students, we are in a space in our lives where we are far away from home, and a lot of things happen. One of the things is the loss of a loved one. Knowing that you are a student as well as a public figure, can you shine light on your journey by navigating the loss of family members during the quote-unquote best 4 years of your life?
Yeah. That's a struggle. Yeah. So my journey with that is, it's a journey, right? When I first moved on the campus, you know, very excited to be in our positions. We revving up. We're on campus early for student leadership trainings. My mom moves me in, right? We're ready to start the year off. Good. And I get a call 2 days later, like, yeah, you know, my baby cousin, he's 2 years old. He passed away very tragically over drugs situation. And I did not know how to handle that, right? This is somebody very close to my family, very, you know, first death in a very long time. So, dealing with that, right? And trying to still be there for my family, being there for my auntie, being there for my mom. You know, I get called, hey, we need you to put the obituary together. We need you to write this. We need you to figure it out, right? So you get into, okay, can't think, you know, you can't get into your emotions. You have to execute. You have to be there. You have to show up,
Right.
because that's what family is supposed to do, right? So I'm like, okay, let me handle what I got going on. I'm flying back and forth, you know, making sure I'm there for the funeral and everything. So that was something I had to work through, and I you know, did the best I could. It's the beginning of the year, so I'm trying to balance that. And you know, we end up, you know, doing good with that, and I continued on, flew back here, continued on with my ring, continued on with trying to get my academics together, trying to stay afloat, trying to be mentally there, balancing it all, and that's what that was, right? And learning from that is still something you process and you grieve with every day, but I just kind of just hold it close to my heart and, you know, continue to do the best I can. And then later on, this is back in February, my grandmother has been sick for the last year, right? And back and forth from the hospital, being there, taking care of your grandparents like we all have done, right? Yeah. And she ended up passing away in February. So again, I got that call, hey, this is what's going on. We're gonna fly you back. We need you to write this obituary. We need you to get it together. And it was like, I just did this 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So I just did this, right?
Yeah.
So it's like round 2. So I had to put it back on.
You need a moment?
So I had to put it back on. As soon as I get home, we touch down. Hey, what we doing? We got it. We got to show up for each other. We only got this amount of time. We got to be there. We need your support, right? I need to be there for my mom. I need to be there for my family. I need to be there for my grandfather and things of that nature. So I'm like, okay, whatever I got to do to make it happen, let's do it, right? So went home, was gone for a few months. Again, missing school, missing academics, whatever's going on here, I'm at home taking care of my family,
Right.
make sure they're straight, make sure I'm there, making sure I'm present, right? Ended up coming back, and my whole mind changed about my priorities, what I valued, how I continue moving forward, who I put energy into, how I'm filling my own cup up, right? So, you know, continue to be there for my family, continue to be there for myself. I continue to work hard and still show up, right? After I came back, I'm like, I can't let this stop me. Like, this is life. If I'm going through this, imagine what my peers are going through, you know, that they don't get to talk about, that they don't even get to come back to school because they dealing with what they got to deal with at home. So, and you never know what people are going through, right? Yeah. You in these positions, you're in this leadership role, and you think everything is perfect, and you think that person got it together, and you want to be that, and I want to emulate that, which is great. This is what we're here to do. But there's reality behind that too. And there's reality of you gotta get yourself back up. You gotta continue to move forward. You gotta continue to move forward. Because if you stop where you are, it's no point. You know? I feel like to make everything worth it, you kind of just got to get up and work through your problems. So that's what I've done. That's what I did. And I hope that as I continue my grieving process, I will be able to stay sane, you know, keep up with my work, keep up with my family, and just maintain being present.
You are very, very, very strong. And I said this in our conversations prior to even this interview alone, not a lot of people know what each person goes through, regardless if they're in a higher position or not. But we all still are human. We go through, if not the same experience, but similar experiences. So the fact that you came back and knew that you had something to do and you were still grieving is just, you're super strong. And even you know, you have things personally going on with you, but the fact that you can get up each day and say, I still have something to do. I came to this university to make a mark and to keep pushing it, to get my degree and leave and to be the better version of myself is amazing. So I just want a round of applause for the both of you guys.
Ooh, girl.
Honestly.
Yes, thank you.
Of course. So in closing, what is one thing you wish you knew coming into this reign? And what is one thing you learned coming out?
I would say coming into it, you gotta like, if you want something, you gotta fight for that. Like, you gotta be vocal, fight for it, and like make sure you're on top of everything that you coming into this reign and trying to do. Getting out of this reign, I would say leave something there that someone else can pick up. That's positive, and that they can continue, and somebody else can continue.
Great answer. How about you?
One thing I learned coming out of this reign is how much support and collaboration matters, right? And leadership. You need good leaders behind you in order to navigate.
Right.
Period.
Answer.
You need good partners in going into it in order to navigate. And I'm so glad that, you know, me and Darius was able to meet and partner and to really work together to really make an impact. Like, support, being there, showing up to each other's events, showing up when we need each other. Like, that is a very big thing that I have taken out of being in the Royal Court and even the Royal Destiny as a whole. Like, I'm very grateful for, you know, my Miss Delaware State University all the way down to Miss Freshman. Everybody played a role in how we navigate moving forward. I learned so much about leadership. I learned so much on what not to do. I learned so much on what to do based on the people I was surrounded with. So I definitely would say support, collaboration, and what leadership truly means from being in the Royal Court.
Wow. I love the both of your answers. You guys are, come on now.
Speaking, girl.
As your reign ends, what is your plan moving forward? They want to know, I want to know, I am nosy.
So for me, I just won the position of SGA Recording Secretary.
Congratulations.
So what my plan is to advocate more of the voice of students, and just try to get the communication between students and staff there, and figure out what the students need and what the staff need from the students, and bring that mix together.
I love it.
And make it into one.
I love it.
So that's my biggest thing, and then there's more to come.
Okay. Okay, cliffhanger.
Right. My next steps here on campus is I'm becoming a residential assistant.
Okay, congrats.
Yes, so stepping into a new leadership role, super excited and nervous about that. Definitely heavily involving myself within DESU-TV, right? Can't wait to come up with my own shows and be a true leader within this organization. And of course, I want to join other organizations related to my major. But one of my biggest goals that I'm really determined is getting my babies here on campus, okay?
Yes.
I'm the oldest girl, the first to go to college, the first to move out. I have a responsibility to make sure my siblings have a way to get here. I got the connections, I got the knowledge, I got everything it takes to get them here, and that's my next step. So just be prepared to have some Bullocks, okay, come through that Delaware State University, because we're doing our best to make sure they're able to be here and we're able to just have a good time and really impact the campus in a whole new way.
Wow. You guys did amazing this year in closing, as well as, you know, your future endeavors.
Definitely.
So I am beyond proud of the both of you, especially coming from a friend.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much for taking the time to sit down and have this interview with me.
Definitely. Thank you.
Of course.
Miss Brooke, Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got to give you your kudos.
Aw, thank
Girl,
you.
your leadership, your support, the way you show up for people is unmatched.
Thank
like,
you. About to make me cry in
it's
here.
people like you. I'm like, I'm
She
so
been that way
serious.
since 8th grade.
Okay, and you know her longer than I
Yeah, she's known me
have.
longer.
And it's like she done changed my life in these last 2
You
years,
get
you
what I'm
know?
saying?
So just thank you for being you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being genuine. Thank you for being a support, because that's what people need.
Thank you.
Through all you go through, first of all you go through to be here, your family, and you still able to show up and show up for these students, show up for your organizations. It's admirable, admirable, whatever. What's the word?
Admirable. You're right.
Admirable.
Thank
Yes.
you. I really do appreciate
So I'll
it.
say for both of you, two great women beside me, keep being you, keep being personable, and keep inspiring others.
Thank you.
Definitely.
And you as well.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I try.
Yes.
And make sure you guys tune in for the next Royal Chapter episode. Again, I'm your host, Brooke Mawson, signing off with DESU-TV.